Hey, I'm Candace, your host, and if you're ready to grow your business and build your authority by getting booked on podcasts, I've got something special for you. I'm launching a brand new course that will walk you through exactly how to get booked on podcasts. Everything from identifying the right shows to pitching, preparing for interviews, and leveraging your guest appearances for growth. Plus, if you sign up for the waitlist now, you'll get early access to the course and these special bonuses. When you officially enroll in the course, you'll save $50 and get a free one-on-one strategy call with me to help you prep your speaking points and align your offers. These bonuses are limited and end on April 13th, so make sure to sign up today. Head to the link in the show notes to join and get started on your podcast guesting journey. I can't wait to help you get booked and start sharing your message with the world. Now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I have a special guest, Andrea Kieffer, the owner of Andrea's Natural Nutrition. She's the co-founder of Whitewater Wellness, graduated in 2022 with her master's in clinical nutrition, as well as in 2020, got her nutrition response training done. She's also a mother of two with a love for animals and nature. So I'm really excited to talk to you today, Andrea. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Love to start at the part of your story where you jump into this nutrition response testing and things like that. Tell me what led you to getting into that.
So I've actually been around it for way longer than just in 2020. So back in high school, I had terrible stomach aches and I'd get really bad headaches. And I went in and they're like, oh, you're lactose intolerant. And I tried like the lactose pills and that did not help. And I just wasn't feeling good. So my mom took me in and had me start nutrition response testing with a local chiropractor. Lo and behold, we identified some foods that were making some issues and they worked to restore some of my gut health. I felt great. I didn't have any more stomach issues, no more headaches. And so then I did it on and off for multiple years through college and as a young adult. And then in 2016, I had my first child and she ended up having some severe eczema and really bad allergy issues. I started taking her to Cheryl, who's my partner in Whitewater Wellness, started working with her and she started slowly progressing. And so then I decided that I wanted to learn more. So then I kind of jumped right in and I took the NRT courses and I applied for grad school to get my master's in nutrition, and it all led to this.
Perfect. Life kind of took you down this path, it sounds like, with your daughter and your own things, and you went looking for better answers. I like that you just followed the nudge that the answers that you got the first time were like, no, this isn't enough, and I can live better and I should be able to feel better than this. And so you went and found what worked for you. That's awesome. Do you want to tell quick what NRT is? It's not new, but unless you're kind of in that holistic, like chiropractic world, I don't know if it's a common thing. I actually have an experience with it. I took my 3 kids and myself to Cheryl years ago when they were like baby. Well, my youngest was a baby for some different things, eczema being one, where my daughter was like scratching her arms so bad that she'd have scabs on them. And after 1 week of avoiding the foods that Cheryl told us to, her arms were completely cleared up. So we've had really incredible experiences with it, but tell us what it is for those listening quick that don't have any idea.
It sounds kind of crazy. And so I always tell people to just give it a try and experience it for yourself. So it's a non-invasive way of seeing what your body needs, what it may be lacking, if anything is not functioning properly. It uses the body's autonomic nervous system to do it. So each organ has different nerves that correspond to that area. So your arm is out straight and we push on that. And then we use our other hand to go over those nerve areas that correspond to those organs. And so by pushing on that, we can identify any deficiencies or stressors, and then we can find ways to maximize the health. Or if you have other things going on, it helps us find the root cause behind the poor health issues.
Okay. Yeah. The arm thing that threw my husband off. So I actually knew that he wasn't really into as much holistic things as I was. So I didn't tell him what was going to happen. I just said, you got to come with, because I can't bring all 3 of like our 3 and under kids with to appointments. And then also I wanted to be tested too. So I said, we're going to have appointments, but I need your help, like to come with. If we got done. And I remember he looked at me like, what did you bring me to? You've got to be kidding me. But in less than 7 days, when everything we had been, I had gone to the medical doctor and gotten salves for my daughter's eczema and all these different things that did nothing and actually usually flared it up worse after. And it was 100% gone within 7 days. And then he was like, okay, fine, you got me. That was crazy, but just really incredible. Okay, thanks for sharing that. So now you kind of have to take a leap into starting your own business. No matter how big or small a business is, that's a leap. So tell me what that process was like for you.
It was overwhelming, but I also feel like I enjoy that kind of stuff. I have a personality that needs to be kept very busy. So prior to starting Whitewater Wellness, I had actually went through and started a nonprofit that is still working and ongoing in the Elba area. So I was familiar with all the paperwork that had to be filed. So that wasn't so terrible because I kind of learned that the first round, but just figuring out what tax IDs numbers you need, what you need to file with the state, making sure that you have insurance and all your bank accounts. There's just a lot of moving parts. And if you're not used to it, it can be really kind of scary and frustrating to figure out exactly what needs to be done and in what order.
What kind of inner work or mindset work did you have to do anything prior to be like, I can do this? I can launch and open a business?
Well, I did all the training because I wanted to do it for my daughter. So It wasn't so much of talking myself into it because I had the mindset that I'm doing this for Hadley. We're going to get this figured out. And I want to be able to help other people in this situation because it is so frustrating when you don't get the answers that you're looking for and you can't help your child who just feels miserable.
Yeah, when you put your kids into the equation, I feel like it's a lot easier to make big decisions. I've learned that if I don't have the guts for myself, I definitely have enough guts for them. So I find it easier. I don't know if you do too, but I find it easier to take action when they're on the line, sort of.
For sure. No, I need to do different things for me. And I'm like, oh, I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
Right.
But then if it is for the kids, I'm like, okay, we got this. We're doing this.
Yeah.
And you definitely have to do work on yourself and your mind to be able to do those things for yourself too. And remember that you can't take care of your family members if you're not taking care of yourself too.
Right. Do you have any advice for someone who is going in a different direction and launching something and trying something new?
You definitely have to make sure that you're going to commit to it and make sure that you have a plan in place before you just jump, because it's a lot easier if you know your steps and what you're doing and trying to achieve than just saying, well, I'm going to do this now and just jumping in without any forethought.
Definitely, for sure. How could someone benefit from seeing you guys at Whitewater Wellness or at your business? What kind of person can benefit from this? I'm probably everyone based on what I know about it, but just give me some scenarios for the listeners of who would benefit from seeking out your guys' services.
So basically anything and anyone. We see people of all ages. And if the younger ones can't keep their arm up, we use parents to help with that. So there's nothing that would prevent anyone from being able to participate in nutrition response testing. It's safe for all ages. And we also offer other things too that are safe for all ages, like craniosacral, reflexology. So there's literally something for everyone. You don't have to have a health issue or something major going on to make you want to take a step in a different direction and be more healthy. A lot of times people are like, well, I'm fine, nothing's wrong. But as soon as you start having those symptoms like digestion's off every once in a while, or I get headaches occasionally, those are your body's check engine light coming on and saying, hey, I need attention, something's wrong. And typically if our car's check engine light is on, we don't just wait around or ignore it sometimes we do, but we try not to. You go and figure out why the check engine light is on. So if you're having headaches or stomach aches, or you have just this crazy pain, or you're super tired, that's your body saying, hey, we need to change something. Like, you don't have to feel that way.
Those are like your body giving you signs. And this is making me think of burnout. I've been talking a lot about burnout on my social media. When I was getting those signs, I kind of wanted to just run from them. Like when I started feeling anxious, let's not sit in this, let's just run from it. And that just led me to a season of extreme burnout. And so I wonder, have you ever experienced burnout yourself? And what was it like for you?
I would definitely say with starting a new business, I did not always think ahead, and I just kind of dove right in. And I was definitely juggling too many things at once and trying to be too many places at the same time. And people can't always be seen on your schedule. So then I was trying to make more appointments to get everyone in. I found setting boundaries and setting my schedule of this time is for this and this time is family time. I'm turning my phone off. So finding that balance is huge. And I didn't want to address that I was getting burnt out. I just wanted to keep going with what I had. And finally, I just wasn't feeling good. And I was like, okay, something needs to give.
Goes along with what you're saying too, of that's your body's check engine light. So those are your inklings and things that I was choosing not to notice. And, you sound like you're in a similar boat where it's like, well, things need to get done. Clients need to be seen. All the things, mom life, everything piles up. Do you think our generation watched and learned about like the women's movement, being empowered to go to work, but then also it's still taking on all of the typical gender roles in the household? And then also we're empowered to like launch our own businesses. And so we're doing what 3 people would probably have done years and years ago, all at one time.
I definitely see that. And just with social media, I feel like is a huge thing that I've been trying to stay away from because everyone's showing, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a challenge to see who can do the most. And sometimes it's just not feasible. You have to do what you're able to do.
Right. You have the foot detox baths too. That was some of the first things I tried for my own digestion and anxiety and things.
We offer those. They're ionic cleanse detox foot baths. They can help with a variety of things. I use them quite often myself, and I use them with my daughter, and they tend to help if she's having like an eczema flare to kind of calm that and get her detoxing through the correct pathways. So it basically helps to make the body more alkaline and remove free radicals, and it uses a charge to help detox the body as well.
They're pretty cool. I took the kids right before school as just like a quick touch up before they head into all the germs and things that school has to offer. Is there anything else you want to add today?
Just that listen to your body. Everyone can use some kind of detox. So even if it's taking an Epsom salt bath at night, that can slightly help your body detox and it helps relax you. Don't forget to just take care of your physical body, but your emotional and mental side of things too needs to be taken care of, because if we don't, sometimes that will manifest in a physical issue as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is there anything else then? You mentioned the Epsom salt bath and things like that. Is there anything else that you would recommend for people to be doing at home to take care of some of those just really initial and basic needs that we all need from time to time?
I mean, everyone's different. So certain people have things that they can't do some of these recommendations, but like dry brushing would be a really good one. It helps to get your lymph system going. Epsom salt baths would be good. If you have a trampoline or your kids do, rebounding, so just bouncing, that can help get your lymph system going. If you like cilantro, that's a great one to add in to help detox. There's so many things you can do through food and just everyday life to help. And journaling is another good one, breath work. And then I really encourage people to work with their children to instill these things at a younger age. So when they do face problems, they can use their breath. They know to choose the healthier foods to make them feel better.
That's a good point, because I think growing up in the era that we grew up in, we ate processed foods all the time. That wasn't a thing that we knew was like unhealthy. I don't remember learning any of that until I was older as an adult. And so being able to have this knowledge that we do now and to teach them some skills, it's just not going to be such a big deal or shock to them. I also feel like when I would have anxiety and stuff, I grew up in a time of just like stuff your emotions, and I was an athlete. So we don't stuff it down and move on because you can't let that out, right? That is not really serving me as an adult. And I'm working to unpack all that, but having better tools and things to do that. I didn't journal. I didn't do any of these things until, it's not even something I thought about. So I love that you mentioned show the kids too, because all of these things are completely healthy and safe for them to do. And what better thing as a parent that you can give your kids some tools that they have and that they know in their back pocket as they grow older.
Exactly. I think it's huge to start them young because, for one, sugar is super addictive. So if you start at a young age consuming it all the time, it's just going to get harder and harder to want to eat a healthier diet unless something happens that really shifts and requires you to change your lifestyle habits.
Right. My last question for you is, what message would you like the listeners to take away today if they don't remember anything else we've shared, talked about, and it doesn't have have to be about anything we've talked about. Is there one thing that you just would be like, I hope you just take this with you today?
Don't forget to take care of yourself,
Mm.
because to take care of others, you need to remember to take care of yourself. And even if your check engine light is not on, you can still do something for yourself to help so that it doesn't come on in the future.
Yes, yes. I think us women, mothers, whatever of our generation, we need this reminder more than we'd like to admit. So tell us, where can we find you?
We have a Facebook under Whitewater Wellness, and we're also on Instagram. That one is Whitewater Wellness Minnesota. We have a website at whitewaterwellness.net. We have locations in Plainview and St. Charles. And we do actually travel to do some different retreats or classes. If you are interested in booking like a private detox foot bath with like a journaling class or anything like that, we do offer those. So just reach out and let us know.
Nice. And you have a little special gift for the listeners, I understand?
Yes. So I will be doing $20 off any initial consult if you just mention this podcast.
Okay, perfect. I will tag everything you just mentioned in the show notes for the listeners. Thanks so much for being on. It was fun chatting. And you guys go take her up on that offer. You will not regret it. Have a better brave day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you're ready for podcast mentoring, whether it's setup, editing, planning, or guesting, you can book a one-on-one call with me through the link in the show notes. I hope you feel seen, inspired, and like your dreams and goals are completely valid, because they are. See you next Tuesday.